10 things only noobs do in Clash of Clans. Yo, what's going on guys, HaVoC here, I'm back. That's right, we're back at it again with part 2 of Things Only Noobs Do. Or as some people like to call it, 10 things HaVoC did when he first started playing Clash of Clans. Hey, you ain't wrong though. In this series, we highlight some common mistakes players do and try and offer some advice and how to fix the problem. I'm no pro, but I've been playing the game since 2013 and I think I have a few tricks up my sleeve. They may not be the best tips, but they're dank. So, let's get right into it. Upgrade a single barracks and thinking the rest won't help. Crap, how do you know? This was literally me for years. I was like, why upgrade all of them? I already unlocked the darn troop. Well, it turns out I was once a noob too. I think we all were. Basically, upgrading all of your barracks gives you a great advantage when training troops because every barracks upgraded is less time spent training troops. Less time training, more time getting some of that dank loot. Yeah. Okay, I gotta calm down. I didn't know this for a while, and based on the likes on this comment, a ton can relate. So for you peeps out there who recently started playing the game and wondering if upgrading all your barracks are worth it or not, then of course, yes, it is. Unless you want to be a slacker and slap on the old I'll do it later, because doing it later turns into something you actually never do. So yeah, make sure you get that done. Only learning one attack method. This applies for war and regular attacks, but mostly war because those attacks are extra important and the bases you attack can be seen prior to the war, so there's no excuse to prepare yourself. Firstly, why is it a mistake? Well, to 3-star a base, you have to analyze the base, looking for possible objectives that are easy to achieve, like eliminating air defenses or double giant bomb locations or taking out a specific defense. You should also figure out how you can create your funnel into the base. How are you going to get into the base? You don't just drop and spam. You have to figure out a method. And if you're using a kill squad, the number of wizards, minions, or even baby dragons should be dependent on the base you're attacking. It shouldn't always be the same exact number of wizards, for example. If you're wondering what a kill squad is, it's basically the troop you drop at the beginning of the match to take out certain buildings so that the rest of your army can finish off the base. I understand some people are more comfortable with certain styles of attacks. However, there are certain parts of that attack that should be base dependent. Whether it's the troops you use to create your funnel or the spells you'll need, little changes to your standard troop composition you use all the time can make the difference between 3 stars or less than 3. Analyzing a base and using that to create the best plan are the key to getting 3 stars. I for one can speak by experience because those who know me know that I don't like change. I always use the same damn army. Yes, I can be a big noob sometimes, but recently I decided to think outside the box and stepped outside my comfort zone. I realized that Clash of Clans is more than just go wipe. There's so many other strategies you can be learning, so make sure you don't stick to just one and use that all the time, because you're gonna end up attacking a base with your standard army and it does horribly, and then you'll have to learn, so just do it prior. Having an excuse for every loss or mistake. Come on, we all know that one person who just doesn't accept the fact that they lost. My Wi-Fi was lagging, my phone died, I got a call, I accidentally dropped that hero too early. Yeah, don't be this guy. It makes you look like a real big noob who can't own up to their mistakes. And sure, sometimes something actually happens and you feel the need to share, but some people do it after every loss like no one's gonna notice. And you know, I was never the one to do this, but I always feel the need to share the experience in the clan chat, like yeah, my queen went full on retard mode. Or yeah, I did screw up that placement, but oh well. There's a major difference between this and excuses. Just don't be that guy, you know, it makes you look real newbie. Bunching up important defenses together. Like all on this video, this is a common mistake I see on a daily basis when attacking. One of the most important factors to a good base design is a simple separation of important defenses. I see a lot of people who clump up their Inferno Towers or Eagle Artillery near other big defenses, and they make it super easy for the attacker to just freeze all of that and boom, they're good to go. Of course, not everyone uses freeze though, but the same thing applies to getting attacked with practically anything. If all your major defenses are in one spot, what do you think will happen? If they attack from that side, it'll be easy to take all of them out in one go. So you don't want to make this mistake when building a base. And if you copied one from a friend or YouTube, maybe just find a different layout or simply adjust it. Trust me, I used to upload base designs for over 2 years, and I can tell you not every single YouTuber knows what they're doing. Sometimes people just build bases because they look cool or they're symmetrical, or hey look, it made a perfect square, wow. There's a lot more building tips I can give you, but for now, just remember that one great tip about separating your important buildings and it'll improve your defenses. Rushing the laboratory. Okay, we talked about rushing your base on the last episode, but there seems to be a common mistake starters do, and that's not finishing their laboratory and rushing to the next town hall or completely ignoring troops they don't use. First off, earlier in the video we mentioned you shouldn't always stick to one army, but if you rush the lab and try to switch things up a bit, you'll probably have a hard time doing so if you rush your troops because you don't really have anything high enough to create a good army, you know? The second reason why this is a bad idea is if you're out here donating level 1 dragons to your clanmates for attacks and war, you just look bad. Low level troops isn't good, and you'll probably be referred to as the guy with noob troops. And lastly, the third reason, well, this one is more for aesthetic reasons, but I'll still include it. The lab is also a building that needs to be maxed out. You can't say you're 100% max if you skipped out on some troops, you know? People can simply check your profile. So yeah, just remember the first 2 reasons. Those are the more important ones. Ineffective use of hero abilities. Sure, the game has an automatic hero ability toggle, but that doesn't mean drop your heroes and let the game do its thing. I see a lot of noobs or just inexperienced players who use their hero abilities whenever they're dying, or let the game do it itself. The real way to do so is timing. The hero abilities are very powerful, and if used at the appropriate time, it can be that one thing that'll get you that 3-star. Now in this video, I'm going to be covering the king and queen because those are the 2 heroes that most of the people have. Maybe in another video we'll talk about the Grand Warden and the other hero that I don't have, but yeah. Firstly, the queen. There's certain parts of the base that she has a hard time destroying. You might be tempted to leave her hitting a gold storage because she has full health, but it's better to activate her ability and get past those meat shields in comparison to waiting and letting her ability be useless later on. Look, I'm no pro, and I think you know that already because I mention it in every tip video. But what I usually do is activate her ability when she's either stuck on a wall, town hall, storages, or any building that has high hit points. These are the parts of the base that she has a hard time destroying, so you might want to help her out a bit. Okay, so now for the king. A good general rule of thumb is to use his ability when he's at 1/3 of his health because it takes some time for the king's ability to end. So if you use his ability when he's almost dead, you practically wasted most of its potential. But if you activate at 1/3 of its health, he can actually use most, if not all of his ability, and you'll end up doing more damage to your surroundings. These are very simple tips you should always follow, especially in war attacks where every second and damage you do counts. Now there might be other strategies or tips and tricks on how to use your heroes, but like I said, these are just 2 simple tips. Not bringing extra troops in an army. You've probably learned this one the hard way. Maybe you almost 3-starred a base and ended up needing an extra archer but didn't have it, so now you always make sure to bring in extra troops to solve that problem. Yeah, one of the ultimate noob mistakes. Well, as I just mentioned, this one has an easy fix. Always bring extra troops in case you need some extra percent at the end of the match. Personally, I like to bring a combination of some archers, barbarians, or goblins. Of course, you don't have to bring the exact same thing, but anything helps. I've seen people bring extra baby dragons, wizards, even some super goblins. Again, very simple fix, and just keep it in mind the next time you create an army or copy one from someone else. Farming with massive armies. For some people, more expensive means more powerful. Although that has some truth to it, it isn't always right. You can successfully 3-star a base or get a ton of loot with the simplest armies. One perfect example is the oldest strategy in the book, called Barch, which is simply barbarians and archers. If you're farming, that's all you really need. Just make sure you find a base with loot and its collectors and you're good to go. Now everyone farms differently though. Personally, I don't use Barch. I prefer a lightweight go wipe variation that I just whipped up myself, but if I was smarter, I would probably try and substitute those golems for giants, but I'm a dumbass, so yeah. Another thing I want to mention is that this really depends on what you're going for. If you're farming for Dark Elixir, maybe don't bring an army that uses 2,000 of it. If you're using up 2,000 Dark Elixir and get an average of, let's say, 4,000 every match, it'll take you 2 times longer if you just went with the simple farming army that used basic elixir troops. At the end of the day, the army you use is your choice, but I see a lot of people using very expensive armies for so-called farming, and their progress is generally slower than it should be. So always keep in mind what you're using to farm, and trophy push and war, they're all different scenarios. Attacking lower in war to get easy stars. I have no idea why people opt into war and decide to attack an easier base than their mirror. You can't be a bigger noob than that. Sure, sometimes people steal your mirror or you got on late so you have to attack whatever you can, but some players just want to attack lower because it's easier. And also yes, this depends on your clan. Sometimes clans don't really care who you attack, so you might just attack someone higher or lower, but I think a general rule of thumb is always try to attack your mirror because that's the closest to who you are in terms of defenses. If you really want to do good in war and be a better player, stop avoiding bases similar to you in strength. You'll never learn unless you try. Attacking a base that's easier or a town hall lower than you isn't gonna be super impressive. So don't even think about bragging about it. That's another noob move in itself, but let's not go there. Forgetting to have fun. I don't know if this is a noob move or more of my opinion or what, but I felt like this was an important topic to include at the end of the video, so yeah. Oftentimes I see friends and family who take the game a bit too serious, and it almost feels like they're just not having fun, but rather treating the game as if they had their life on the line. To me, that just seems crazy, and I can't imagine playing something and not having fun. I mean, the whole point of a game is to have fun. It's your own little escape from reality, especially in games where you make something of your own. In Clash of Clans, you build a village and attack for resources, and to me, that's where the fun is. Seeing your base progress over the years and socialize in a clan with your buddies. But anyways, don't forget to have fun when playing. It'll make the experience a lot better. So guys, I think that should be it for this video of 10 things only noobs do in Clash of Clans. Let me know down below if you guys have any more ideas for part 3. You guys seem to enjoy the last video a lot. I mean, like I mentioned, I'm no pro, so I can't give pro tips. But yeah, I try my best to give you some advice for you starters, because if you've been playing the game for years now, you might find this video kind of useless. But yeah, with that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Please like, comment, and subscribe. And as always, thanks for watching. Have a gaming out. Peace!